My name is Adrian Dattolo. I was a legal assistant major, which is basically the paralegal program here at Norwalk Community College. Essentially, a paralegal is an assistant to a lawyer who's able to work on legal matters under the direct supervision of a lawyer. So they're unable to practice law on their own, but they can assist in legal matters. Right now I work full-time for a law firm in Stanford that specializes in intellectual property. Ideally, I'd like to attend a law school here in Connecticut, and of course, I'd utilize any assistance the Career Development Center will offer. I found their department very helpful, particularly Maria Zoros. She guided me through the entire process, really gave me professional advice on how to come to an interview, how to answer questions, and how to come off professional. I ultimately decided to go to Sacred Heart University because of their credit transfer policy. It was very generous. They accepted everything, I believe. And I went on to study policy and government at their School of Government there, and I excelled in it. I loved it so much. I graduated 3.9 GPA, summa cum laude, and I actually went on to go to the state capitol and interned for Caroline Simmons, current mayor of Stanford. And it was just a great experience, and it's because of NCC that gave me that launching point to go to another school, study policy and government, and actually grow a deep interest in political science.
Hi, I'm Linda Rivera. I came to NCC in the year 2002. I always liked math, so I was pursuing some kind of an engineering degree, and I ended up graduating with an Associates of Engineering here from NCC. My plan was to transfer to UConn to get an electrical engineering degree. I knew it was going to be that, my field. But I ended up going to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute instead, where originally I thought I couldn't go there because it was so expensive, but I was able to get enough funding and scholarships, so I ended up transferring there. And the original plan was just to get a bachelor's degree. But once I finished with that, I was encouraged to continue on. So I ended up staying at RPI and getting a master's degree. And one thing led to another, and I eventually stayed to get a PhD in electrical engineering. While I was working at NCC, I was also working full-time, so it was very challenging to do both things at the same time. But it worked out. I had a lot of support here at NCC from the faculty to my classmates, and just the community was amazing. And obviously, everything that I did here transferred very well into the four-year college. Just that sense of hard work and tenacity. And so I am very grateful that I started at NCC. Obviously, there are advantages of being in a community college, cost savings involved, and things of that nature. So yeah, I had an amazing time here. And once I transferred to RPI, it was very difficult to work, but the foundations that I obtained here were invaluable, and I still carry them with me to this day. The staff, the professors, all of them were immense supports for me. Susan Bird was a big influence. She encouraged me to pursue scholarships for women in engineering. Diane Dunn has been a very big support for me because I worked at the tutoring center while I was here, and she also encouraged me to apply to go to RPI. So, and obviously all the professors were always very helpful and available to help when needed. And I actually also had really great classmates, so we worked together. I used to, before, tend to want to do everything on my own, but then realize that sometimes you just need to, lean on people that can support you and help you, and I did get that from my classmates. And outside of NCC, my family, without them, it would have been impossible for me to do everything that I was able to do. Do not give up, because the road sometimes is treacherous, and you will definitely face obstacles. It could be financial obstacles or academic obstacles, but always lean on your strengths.
My time at NCC was definitely a time of building a foundation that I'm grateful to have. I feel that NCC really helped to meet me where I was at and kind of gradually build upon making me a better student, a better professional, and really just helped to prepare me overall for life in general. Even still, when I hit rock bottom, I got hit with things outside of the academic setting. I lost my father. I had mental health and physical health concerns at some point, and NCC was still supportive. I find that I'm always still connected to NCC in some type of way. I came back to do tables, community education events. I feel like working with Courtney helped me to prepare me for service and networking. Courtney has always been very supportive. I was also a AmeriCorps Vista for a while, so I did some work in the food pantry. So I just really feel that NCC is like the tool. So I feel like it's the community here, the supportive staff, the supportive students, the overall experiences that I've gained. NCC has always felt like a family to me. So whenever I need something, they're always there and very supportive. When I was a student here, there was always someone to point me in the direction that I needed to go, whether it was the tutoring center or the writing center. I feel like I learned to advocate for myself. I was introduced to social work, and I decided to pursue that because it felt right to me. At NCC, I definitely developed my passion for service. Before I even applied to NCC, I hadn't applied anywhere to college just because I didn't believe that I could go. I didn't feel like I can't afford this, I can't do this, I am mentally stressed. I am not one of those students. And everyone was trying to tell me that I could, but I didn't believe it for myself. But NCC made me believe all of those things were true. And I now believe it for myself, which is why I'm so proud to continue to pursue my education. And every time I come across a student or just anybody that reminds me of how I was back then, I do my best to encourage them as someone did for me.
All right, my name is Jahir Palacios. After I graduated from NCC, I had a degree in business administration, but I decided to go ahead and pursue interior design. It was something that I loved to do. It was my passion, and I just decided to make that my job. My experience at NCC was truly one of a kind. I came into the school sort of not socializing with anyone and just being by myself. And then I sort of got the confidence to find a group where I just flourished and really became really social and great with other people here. I mean, it was truly great. It was a great experience here. Cool. I love this. I love this nautical theme here. I wanted to go to a college that was a small community. I felt that I would get lost in a larger school, and I really wouldn't experience, the whole sort of community feel of the school that way. And that's why I chose NCC. It's a smaller, tighter-knit community here. After I graduated from NCC, I had a degree in business administration, but I decided to go ahead and pursue interior design. It was something that I loved to do. It was my passion, and I just decided to make that my job. I would say it's important to always have a goal in mind, but it also doesn't matter if you veer off once in a while. Any experience is a great experience for you to have, and this is the time to actually just experience it all.
I started with ESL 66, so the lowest level I could find, and I took it from there. And so I never looked back once I signed up for English, and I did everything else. So that's what I would think. It's the most welcoming place for an immigrant like me. I think it was one of the easiest things I ever did. Graduated from NCC and then went to Central Connecticut for a construction management program. And actually the construction technology program is right there. That's where I started. And after that, they helped me go to the four-year college, getting my bachelor's. Yeah, it was an easy transition because once I graduated from NCC, I went to Central Connecticut in construction management program, which actually they made it really easy for us in the construction technology program to transfer there with all the credits and all the classes were accepted. So I got that done, and in about a week after graduation from Central, I found myself fully employed. There's nothing else I ever did other than construction, architecture, design, construction management, and now I have my own company. So after I graduated from Central Connecticut, I started working for a general contracting company, and I worked for them for 7 years. And I traveled quite a bit, and it got tiring after 7 years, so I decided to go on my own. And I started Complete Commercial Builders. And we're doing a lot of work in Fairfield County. I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. We still keep in touch with everybody around, especially construction technology professors. Hang out with your professors. One of the biggest things that I got out of this was I got to be friends with a lot of professors because I was here full time. I was working during the night and coming here all day long. I never bought a computer. I had everything here. Labs, tutors, professors were always available for anything. I graduated in 2010, So I don't think things have changed that much. So it's a cool environment, and that's what I would tell every other student that comes through the doors nowadays at NCC. Engage with professors, engage with clubs, be active, do something while you're here. We have everything here. It's a tremendous opportunity for you guys that are here now to get the most out of it. So that's all I would say.
Oh my gosh, it was the best. I loved that NCC. I initially didn't want to attend because you hear the stigma from your last year of high school and whatnot. Placing my foot here was the best decision I made. Not only did I made a lot of friends, but I made a lot of faculty friends, a lot of peers, gained a lot of mentors and knowledge, and I got my 60 credits, got my associates, went to get my bachelor's. So the experience was great, and I definitely give NCC the kudos that it deserves for establishing me as an individual. From my initial contact with NCC was Summer Bridge, so that was a very great resource. After that was the real program, Ms. Denise Rawls-Smith. I loved her, and her program was immaculate, and it totally met to the standards of the students that she took care for. After that was programs like Uplift, done by Al Thomas. Other things like the food pantry with Courtney. The just volunteering with any other program that she offered. There's a lot of resources that are on. I can't even think of right now because there's just so much. So I had a lot of jobs here on campus. I didn't really go outside of campus to work, and so seeing how much work you could put in the same place where you're studying, eating, socializing really showed you that you should put the same amount of effort wherever you go, wherever workforce that you get into, wherever job, whether it's corporate or nonprofit. It just showed that you should just still care for it. NCC at the end of the day is a community, so establishing community wherever you're at can truly help you stay there and just make a difference and bring value. So what I do for work right now is I work for my city's government, and I work as an economic data analyst. So what that means is I'm basically providing a lot of information and organizing separate files and charts. But what I really love doing, which has been my new role, is being the city's film liaison. So all that data, most of it is from properties and locations. So when these movie productions come into the city to film, I can provide them the locations of where they could possibly film at, because they don't know the city that well. And I was raised there for the majority of my life, which is Stanford. So, and what else I do is I help them with the permitting process. I streamline it and make it very simple and easy. These films that have been coming to Connecticut, Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, and whatnot, they just need someone to hold their hand, because they're not only dealing with Stanford, they're dealing with other municipalities and whatnot. So having someone there of part of the city that is their job is meant for film is definitely essential. If there's an internship that's giving you some slack, or they're really pressing down on you, just get that done. Especially while you're here at NCC, it's very feasible to do internships, 3 months, 6 months, or a year internship while you're here at NCC. When I was at a four-year institution, I wasn't doing as many internships, but I was waiting till the summer to do it on my winter breaks. Well, NCC, you have the freedom to do that because it's so local, especially here in Fairfield County. There's a lot of media hubs, media companies that are just soaking up all of these tax incentives, and they just love being here. Definitely just get those internships, get some experience. You have peers that want to do the same thing, just work with them, even if something small, just go out and try to work with them, reach out, and then do what you have to do.
I get to work with students, helping them find volunteer opportunities to help with their career exploration. I also work with the food pantry, the emergency fund. I do alternative spring break and a lot of other events on campus. So it's really fun to interact with the students and help them be involved, because the more involved students are, the more successful they will be in their college career. What I do is I work with students to help them find volunteer opportunities. And sometimes when people do volunteering, it's because they just want to help out, and sometimes they want a little bit more. And that could verify that they like doing something, or it could give them an idea, maybe I don't want to do this, and to kind of explore some other things. Greatest achievements is the food pantry. We started the food pantry about six years ago, and we see hundreds of students every month and help students maybe tackle some non-academic barriers so they could be successful in class. You know, when students or anybody is really hungry, it's hard to concentrate. So if the food pantry is a free resource for any enrolled student, they could take advantage of the food pantry that's open every day in West 101A, and they can get some food maybe to help them be less hungry so they could concentrate in class, and also bring some food home to their families. I was really attracted to the opportunities here. We're developing a new program around volunteerism, around community service, and it was something I just really felt very passionately about. Before I came to NCC, I worked in the nonprofit sector, so it was a little bit like a great segue to work with students in a community college. So I really believe in giving back to the community, and I really believe in a lot of NCC's values, so I wanted to be on campus really badly, and it worked out. My advice to any NCC student is to, one, get involved. The more involved you are, the more successful you'll be. And that could be getting involved with service, it could be getting involved with clubs, it could be getting involved with programs on campus like Uplift or Trio, and it's just being involved. The second one is say yes more than no. I always say this to students, it's very, very easy to say no. You know, sometimes you're tired, someone asks you to do something and you're like, nah, I don't really want to, but sometimes you have to kind of push through that initial no to say yes, and you don't know really what could happen. Opportunities come to you, so get involved and say yes more than no.